Okay, we have Josh Hart and we have Daniel Ochefu with Coach Wright. All right. Can we have quiet, please? Thank you.
I heard someone say that doesn't look like Arch. He's got a rib issue, so he's getting it checked right now. Great college basketball game, man. Just a thrill to be in it here at the Garden. Semifinals of the Big East Friday night. It's what you dream of, man. It was an awesome game. I give Providence a lot of credit. Their zone was awesome. We just really struggled with it. You know, we've been good against zones, but we really struggled. And but I thought, you know, our defense kept us in it, but we couldn't rebound. Couldn't rebound against them, and that's what kept them in the game. So their defense, their rebounding, and I think our guts and a couple big plays at the end, that was the difference.
Questions, please, right here, Mark.
Jay, thoughts on your first Big East final as a coach?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I love this tournament. I like this tournament better than any other tournament. Just love being in New York, love being in the Garden. I know all of our alumni do. I'm thrilled, and I'm really happy for these guys.
Right here in the middle, Josh.
Regardless of what happens tomorrow night, do you feel like you've earned the 1 seed at this point?
Honestly, I don't know enough about it. I really don't. I don't follow it, and I couldn't give you an honest answer. I think if we win it, we deserve one. But I don't know all the other parameters to give you an honest answer.
Okay, we're over on the right, Richard.
Yeah, Coach, another big game from Josh coming off the bench. Can you talk about that, and also, is there something special that allows him to come off the bench as a sixth man right away to do things like that?
Well, I'm glad you gave me a chance to say that. There is something special about him. He's good enough to be a starter. We had him penciled in as a starter preseason, and Dylan Ennis just had a ridiculous summer and fall. Josh had a real good one, and Dylan Ennis was amazing. He just shocked us all, and he just earned it. And we told Josh, you didn't get beat out. He just or you didn't lose it. He just was ridiculous. So you got to accept this. And the day he won the Sixth Man Award, I called his mom and dad, and I said to them, "This is just because of you guys, the character that you've built in him, and his parents don't complain. You know, his parents say, hey, you're a sixth man, be the best sixth man." That's what he did, and that's unusual.
Adam.
Jay, just your thoughts on Chris Dunn's performance tonight, and what's his upside?
Awesome, man. He's big time. He is really. I mean, we're pretty good defensively, you know, and we're pretty good in pick and roll defense. He's the toughest guy. I would say he's the toughest guy we've guarded in pick and roll defense. Would you say?
Yep.
I'd have to really look at every game, but after coming out of that game, I don't think there's been another guy we've played against we have as much problem with in pick and roll.
Zach, second row.
Jay, when you look at this team, you feel it's one that's built for the NCAAs?
I hope so. I really do. I think this tonight was a great example. Dylan, a couple of our guys were just not in sync tonight. I don't know why. Darren Hilliard fouls out, and then other guys step up. Josh steps up. Daniel has a huge game, but we kept our composure and found a way to pull it out. That's what it takes. You know, you gotta have guts. You gotta have a great resiliency to keep going. So I like this team.
Right here, Terry. Okay.
Do you think there's a this team has maybe last year's team didn't?
Definitely the experience. You know, they've been through so much. Everybody on this team, the top 7 guys, have all been in big games. They've all played in the Big East tournament. They've all already lost in the Big East tournament. They've already played in the NCAA tournament. They've already been a 1 seed, you know, in the Big East tournament. They've been through everything. That makes a huge difference. That's not something to be taken lightly.
Terry. No rush. Right here. Yeah, you go.
Talk about the
No.
strategy of the last play with 12 seconds left. What was the strategy? Take the ball, keep the ball. Who was the play drawn up to?
Well, Daniel, you know, we were having trouble getting the ball in bounds before that. So Daniel's great at coming back and getting the ball. He's got great hands. So the play was to inbound the ball to Daniel. Daniel get it back to Ryan, and then spread the floor and set a middle ball screen. You know, we had 3 shooters around Ryan, and that's why he got to the rim, because they knew we had 3 shooters out there, and Daniel set the back screen.
Okay, third row right here. Yes.
Okay.
kind of, is it panic? I mean, do you have to calm them down at all? Or is it-
No, not this group, and that's where the experience comes in. You know, that's happened to us before, and we've lost games on this group, because they've been around, you know. So that's happened, and we've won games. So we just say attitude to each other. That's our word. We know, just next play, man, next play. And they're calm. They're more calm than I am, you know. And there was no doubt, we were going to make a play there. The concern was going to be how much time was going to be left, you know, and were we going to be able to get a stop.
Bob?
Was there a point in the game where you felt, even if they were playing zone and you usually are able to move the ball well enough to find your shots, that it wasn't going to happen, you were going to have to put the ball on the floor and penetrate and do it a different way? Was there a moment where you said, hey guys, we got to start?
Yeah, in the second half, we started that way. We started doing a good job, and they started taking that away, man. They lifted all 4 guys above the foul line, which is really unusual. And they just said, you know, go ahead, put it into Daniel Ochefu, or put somebody in the middle of the lane, you know. And that's at the end. We got it to JP in the middle of the lane. We got it to Darren in the middle of the lane. Darren Hilliard made a big play, but they made us do things that we don't normally do, and that's where you give them credit.
Left.
Down the road for you?
Definitely. Yeah, this, you know, I think you guys ask me that every once in a while. I'd rather not have one of these games, but after you do, you're really glad you had one, because it's great to go through that and have been through. We did a lot. I mean, there were plays where we just threw the ball off the guy's foot. One guy wasn't looking. It was just one of those nights, but you got to find a way to win those nights.
Left, Tom?
This is for the players. How tough was it to regroup after losing the lead, which you had the entire game until those last 12 seconds?
I don't think it wasn't really tough at all. You know, like Coach said, we got in the huddle, we all looked at each other, we said attitude, and we just moved on to the next play. We had 12 more seconds left to play Villanova basketball. So we knew, you know, they had that mistake, but it was in the past, and we just focused on, you know, next play. We focused on that last 12.9 seconds, and, you know, luckily it worked out for us.
Second row, Mark?
Josh, you guys wouldn't have been able to repeat what you did yesterday for 3, but you started out kind of slow. So how important was it for you, especially, to hit those 2 that you did in the first half of the game?
It was a good feeling. You know, like you said, we were starting off a little bit slow. We can't always have the shooting game that we had against Marquette. I think that's where our defense really came into play. But, you know, obviously, you know, when you make those first couple in the first half, you have a good feeling.
All the way on the right.
Jay, you had a pretty good angle compared to the rest of us. What do you think of the call on Orange? 3 seconds.
I had no angle because he was on the other side of the defender, you know, so I really had no angle at all.
In the center?
Jay, the last couple of games, you guys have won by more than double digits. But how did it feel to finally win a game like in a tight finish?
I think that's going to be a great experience for us. I think that's going to be something for us to look back on and learn from. And you need that. We really haven't had many games like that. And it was good for us. A lot of end-of-game situations. We made some mistakes. We did some things well. But we'll learn from that. And it's good to be in a game like that at the end of the year.
We're 2 more. Josh?
Jay, if you guys end up playing Georgetown tomorrow night, historically, is there something to be said for that matchup, given it's 2 old school Big East teams and it's the 30th anniversary of the '85 title game?
Yeah, all that stuff would be cool. It really would. It would be really cool. But it'd be just as cool to play Xavier in the finals. Being in the finals of Big East tournaments, that's what's the best, man. I think this night, you know, the doubleheader, the Friday night, that's the great night to be in. But the final game in Madison Square Garden is a thrill for anybody that's in the Northeast in basketball, man. You just dream about that.
Final question?
What's the biggest difference between last year's team that got knocked out surprisingly in the quarterfinals and this year's squad that's gone to the Big East Championship?
I think the fact that they all played in that situation together, you know. I know it's not like anything sexy. It's not like, you know, Daniel's improved a lot, you know, which he has. But it's really that these guys, you know, they're coming into these games having been in lots of big games, having been the top of the league all year. You know, everywhere we went on the road, it was the biggest game. It was a sellout. Everybody was out to get us. And they've been through all that, you know. And they already failed last year. So I heard Ryan Arch say it, like, hey, we already came up here and lost in the first round. Everybody hated us. All right, so we did it. We're not afraid of that. You know, we lived through it. So the fact that they've just been through all this together, I think, is really a great characteristic that they have going into every game.
Villanova, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh.
Okay.